Check, 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 check. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. Well, not really good night yet. Good evening, good night, good morning. I don't know anywhere you're watching this live from. Bless up on yourself so far. You know the drill, guys. Please confirm if you guys are seeing me okay and if you guys are hearing me okay. Hold on, let me make sure everything is intact. All right, everything kind of look all right on my side still. How about everybody else? Is everybody able to see and hear me okay? Um, Trailer Plus CA, welcome to the live. Bless up Amoy. As usual, I know the link is real. Lisa, thank you so much for tuning in. Seeing and hearing okay. Sheena K. Garden, bless up. Tiffany Thompson, I hearing and seeing just fine. You know what? That's music to my ears, guys, because of course, yeah, hopefully the quality is much better than what you guys have seen over the past few weeks, and hope everything is good. KNT, sorry, not KNT. I think it's Kerry. Carry on. Yeah, that's who we are. Bless up and welcome. Lisa Stedford. Bless up and welcome, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to another week live. You know, I know we are 1 hour earlier than what we usually do on a Sunday, but you know what, guys? It's a very, 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 very good live tonight. So I could not have let this opportunity slip by. And today's live is gonna be one that features the province of Manitoba. So if there's anybody in the community that is interested in migrating to Manitoba, this is the live that you want to see. We are going to be having a very, very influential guest on the live today. Somebody who you guys are want to like get out a notepad and get as much notes as you can, because this is somebody who has been there and done that and has actually started a very successful business in Canada. Alrighty, so she's actually in the chat. I'm just gonna send a link. Um, I'm gonna send a link. For you to get in. Just a minute. Definitely you should be able to get in. Okay. Alrighty. So what's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody's weekend going? Simone McLean, bless up. Shancia, bless up. Thank you guys for coming to the live. Another Sunday, another weekend. You know, we're looking forward to another week, and we're looking forward to another successful live as well. All right, guys. Um, in just a few minutes here, I'm gonna be getting our guest directly in, because it's really not about the Andersons tonight, but it's more about her. As soon as she gets in, you guys are gonna definitely find her to be very entertaining, and the information to be very, very, very interesting. Okay, so in another few minutes she should be on. Let's just be patient with her a little bit, all right? Before I get going any further, guys, I just want to say, just take this opportunity to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Give the live a huge thumbs up if you haven't done so already. And of course, it's an interactive live, so you can definitely drop your comment, your questions, whatever it is, in the chat. And if I can't do it, our guests will definitely attempt to do it as well. Our intention is to get as much information as possible across, so that everybody can be informed and empowered. Rashida, bless up yourself, by the way. I owe you a phone call. I'll definitely reach out to you as soon as this live is done. And then definitely we can, chat a little bit. Hope everything is good. Hope the family is okay. Done, and then definitely we can chat a little bit. Hope everything is good. Hope the family is okay. Then, also, I just want to say that whatever information is shared here today, guys, it's information that's based on our own personal experiences, as we are no immigration consultant, no immigration lawyer, no immigration advisor, no immigration anything of the sort. Everything is just solely based on our own experiences and experiences that friends and other family members have gone through. However, you know what, guys, I am actually trying to change that by becoming a registered immigration consultant very, very soon here. You guys can definitely contribute to that dream. I've started a GoFundMe. The link is right in the description right below, because as you know, Canadian school fee not cheap. This is something that I've decided to do because of our awesome community, and just to be able to benefit the community a little bit more. I thought this would be something great for myself and my family to do, so that we can provide not only factual information but also more services at a significantly lower cost than what many people had to be suffering through. All right. Now, as I said, if you haven't subscribed already, guys, please go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and give the video a thumbs up as soon as I come in, and share it out so that other persons can come in on the chat as well. All right. Just to read out a few comments here. Bless up everybody who's on the live. Rashida says, yes, Dems, we are okay. The Taylor family says, good afternoon to everyone. Blessings and enough love. Welcome to the Taylor's family. We were on the live like for what, 3 hours last night with the Taylor's family. They go live every single Saturday night. You guys can definitely go and check them out. Janelle Palmer is here, and Trinat says, good evening, everyone. Everybody's kind of just trickling in a little bit. In case you guys are wondering what we're going to be talking about tonight, we're going to be talking about the beautiful province of Manitoba, what it has to offer. And of course, you guys can see, I say on the right side of your screen, we have a very lovely guest in the live as well, Patrice Gilman, Mrs. Patrice Gilman to get it exact. We can't keep her for too long because tonight is one of the only nights she gets to spend with her husband, which she has so eloquently warned me that she's not going to be able to be on for longer than probably an hour or so, depending on the flow and how things go. All right. So, Patrice, how's your Sunday going? Okay, let's give Patrice a second. I'm not sure if Patrice is hearing me. Patrice, just give me a nod if you're hearing me. I don't think she's hearing me, guys, but you know what? Um, or nod is a little bit delayed. Okay, Patrice, you can definitely unmute your mic and you can definitely just come in on the conversation. Unmute the mic by just clicking on the mic icon right on your picture, and then that should allow you to just be able to contribute to the conversation. All right. Okay, guys. While Patrice is starting out her mic, obviously she's bumped out to come back in. Technical difficulties. It's good to see that I'm not the only one who experienced technical difficulties when using this platform. So that's actually good for me to know that, yeah, I'm not the only one. While we wait on Patrice, let me just say, guys, if you have any questions as well, you can just throw that in the chat and definitely contribute to the conversation. Hi, Patrice, are you hearing me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you better. I had to switch from my desktop to my cell phone. The house Wi-Fi seems to be spotty, so I'm just using my data. That's fine.
Okay, well, you know what? This quality is much better anyway, so thank you so much for that. Before we
No
get into the
problem.
conversation, Patrice, how's your Sunday going?
And it's not bad. I went to church this morning. I'm having a bad headache, but the show must go on. Yay!
Well, firstly, I just want to say thank you so much for spending your Sunday evening with the Andersons and our lovely community. I'm sure that many persons will appreciate you being here. Would you like to just tell us about yourself? Like, where in Jamaica are you from originally, and also how long you've been in Canada, and all of those lovely information.
Okay, so I was born in downtown Kingston, a community called Southside, and but I left there when I was about 2 years old, and I moved to Constant Spring. I then left Constant Spring after 15 years to live in Portmore, and that's where I migrated from Greater Portmore to Manitoba. I moved here November of 2014. So this year would be 7 years that I've been here.
Oh man, 7 years is a long
Mhm.
time. You're coming up on almost 10 years, right? So,
Mhm.
have you lived anywhere else other than Manitoba, or just strictly in Manitoba?
In Manitoba, in I've lived in the States for a while, but the longest I lived in Manitoba, nowhere else in Canada.
Nowhere else in Canada. Okay. And
Mhm.
just to be exact, are you in the capital, Winnipeg, or
I
what city are
am
you in?
I am I am now in the capital of Winnipeg. When I moved here, I didn't live in Winnipeg. I lived in Selkirk. Selkirk is
Okay.
a small town about 45 minutes north of Winnipeg. It's as what they will call it, the boonies, the redneck town. I moved there and I lived there for 2 years before I came to Winnipeg.
Okay. So pretty much Manitoba is your home. You have been there for
Hmm.
7 years
Hmm.
and obviously it's treated you well. Now we have a community here, Patrice, where we share information about living in Canada, right? Now that
Right.
information is information that is unfiltered, pretty much as straightforward as possible. Because of
Hmm.
course, if you can take yourself back to living in Jamaica, wanted you always want to know what it is like living overseas, right? Not based on like what Google says or whatever. You want like factual information. What would you say is the most favorable thing of living in Manitoba?
All right, I'm going to be very honest. Um, the thing that I appreciate the most since I've been here was the fact that I was able to get fertility treatment to have my son, and that was a big deal for me.
Okay.
Not saying it was free because Manitoba don't offer free fertility treatment, but the expertise that's here allowed me to, go through that process, and it was a very good process. Um, Secondly, um, it's lately I opened a business, and it's very supportive of small business owners.
Okay. Okay.
And so I find that I get a lot of support, especially now in this political atmosphere as a black female owned business.
Okay.
So that's a positive.
Okay.
Hmm.
Alrighty. How did you migrate to Canada? Did you come as a student or did you come as a worker or a permanent resident? What was your immigration journey like?
All right. So I was working at JCDC in Jamaica as the culinary arts specialist for the government, and it was a decent job because it's the one position in the government. And I recently gave my life to Christ in the same year, 2014. And I was sitting at my desk one day and I heard the voice of God say, "Why don't you call the Ministry of Labor and ask them if they have any programs to travel overseas?" Because I did it all through my internship years at UTech. So every year, every summer, I would go on the work and travel program. So I developed this love affair with traveling and going to new places. And so I picked up the phone and I called Ministry of Labor and I asked if they had any programs going on now. And the gentleman said, actually, they're interviewing people for jobs in Canada and it ends tomorrow. So if I could send in my resume right away. So I did. I called a friend of mine too that I was working with at the time. And I told her to send her resume as well. And we did the interview in April, and we learned about coming. Well, it was finalized in September. So I
Okay.
came here. I came here as what they would call a federal skilled worker.
Okay. Okay. So is that program to your knowledge? Is it something that only happens once, or is it something that is always ongoing periodically? Just like off the top of your head, is it something that somebody can do to just like say call the Ministry of Labor in Jamaica and be like, hey, do you guys have any programs of how we can work in Canada? Is that something that anyone can do, or is
You
it
know
just
what?
because you work with
It's
the
some.
government?
It was something that I did. I didn't follow them up. I don't really know. Listen, it was just, as I said, it was just a move of God. And maybe it's something that people can do. I don't know. It worked for me. However, be mindful that these jobs are not like jobs in Jamaica or so, or, because I came here as well, a little background. I studied at UTech. I did my first degree, and at UTech. Then I did my culinary degree after with Culinary Institute of America, and then I did my master's at UTech. So when I applied for this job, it was advertised as restaurant manager. So I applied for the job, and then when I came here, a different story, Uncle.
Okay, we're gonna get into that actually because
Yeah.
we want to talk a bit about like you transitioning into the Canadian society and like the environment in general, right? But first, let's just
Mhm.
get to some of these chats. Um, I've missed so much. Rashida says, "Welcome, Mrs. Gilman." Lisa Stedford says, "Welcome, Patrice." Rashida Bailey says, "It's
Thank
delayed,
you.
Dems." Hopefully that started out. Can you guys can confirm? Janil Palmer says she is delayed. Hopefully that is fixed after she transferred to her cell phone. Yes, but we hear you now. Welcome. Kay and Wilson says, well, hey, Patrice. The Taylor's family says, guys, remember to leave a big thumbs up on the live stream. I second that, by the way. HD Viva
Mhm.
says, I got a question. How long did you have to wait to get back your passport after sending it to the visa office to go to Canada? HD Viva, that's not really relevant to me right now because I've been in Canada since 2019 and the process was a little bit different. I didn't have to use any DHL or anything like that. That is being done right now. But from what I've heard, I heard that it takes pretty much a week to 2 weeks for you to send and receive it back. Somebody can confirm that in the chat as well. Shauna K. Forsyth says, welcome, Patrice.
Thank you.
BLKU says, detox is your business too. Hashtag, by the way, check her out. The Taylor's family said, oh, very interesting. Javier Mari says, need to call Ministry of Labor. Shani says, right away, Javier. Nat Sandem says, thumbs up the live stream. By the way, that's Nuts in the background, by the way, if you guys are wondering, it was Nuts and Dems. That's Nuts in the background, using the other channel, invading the chat. All right, guys. So, of course, if you guys have any questions outside of what I'm gonna ask, you guys can definitely throw it in the chat, and we can definitely throw it out to Patrice, and she'll use her experiences to the best of her knowledge to answer as well, right? Melissa Wright says, I am here a bit late. Please big up my husband, Conroy, who is watching. Conroy, bless up herself. You have a very awesome wife, by the way. We haven't met, but she has been supporting the channel for a while now, by the way. Bless up herself. So, Patrice, back to you. So, you
Hmm.
call the Ministry of Labor. You did your interview. You found out that, okay, then you're going to become a restaurant manager in Canada. You got through the motion and did the process and all of that. You reached Canada now, right? Did you
Hmm.
have to find an apartment for yourself in Manitoba, or was that arranged for you?
No, my I sound like I'm echoing.
Oh no, you're good.
Okay. Okay, the owner of the McDonald's that I was going to be working at had to secure an apartment from September because that was when it would have been available. I didn't land until November. So because that apartment was close to the workplace and he didn't know whether it would have been rented, yes or no, he had to secure a place for us because as an employer, I think that's a prerequisite, a part of the LMIA, the labor marketing. So he had to secure an apartment. So when I landed here, I was already $3,000 in debt because I had to pay.
Paying back. Okay, so obviously you would have lived in whatever apartment for a little while and then move out on your own. What is the apartment prices usually like? So we have a lot of international students, even in the chat right here. Some of which is going moving to Manitoba and they are like super scared about like what the apartment prices are gonna be like. What would you say is the
Well,
average cost for a two-bedroom?
it all depends on the area. The prices have been getting very high lately, but when I moved here, as I said, I wasn't living in Winnipeg at the time. I was living in a small town. The small towns, you can find them to be a little bit cheaper, but there is no commuting from Winnipeg to Selkirk. So there's no bus or no train or anything that you can take. It's either you're going to school in Winnipeg and you're living in Winnipeg, or you're just staying in Selkirk and working in Selkirk. If you have a car, then you can take the 45 minutes trek every day
Okay.
to and fro.
So just pick up in, you're saying that there is no like train system that connects the towns. Is there like a railway system in like Winnipeg itself or
There
not?
is a railway system, but it's not for. everyday, like everyday commute.
Oh, okay.
And it's not connecting the towns with each other. It's almost like I'm not sure if you guys familiar with Amtrak. It's called Via Rail. So it's like a passenger train that runs from Toronto, and it does scenic routes and those things. But there's not like a commute
Okay.
train like in New York or so, where you can jump on the track and go to Bronx and Brooklyn or wherever it is. No, we don't have that here.
I gotcha. So we do have a lot of questions in the chat. I'll soon get to that. But you haven't like given like an idea of like the average cost for an apartment,
Okay,
two
so
bedroom, off the top of your head.
for two bedroom in Winnipeg, it depends on the area. Downtown, which is less of a nicer area because there's a big drug problem here in Manitoba. So downtown, in some areas you can get a two bedroom for maybe $1,100. In the nicer areas, like close to the University of Manitoba, the two bedrooms will be like 1,300, 1,400.
Okay. Oh, that's fairly average in comparison to like other provinces. Like
Mhm.
I'm in Alberta, and that's pretty much like what it sounds like. But I know that
Yeah,
in Ontario it's way more expensive, especially in
yeah, it
Toronto.
is.
It's like almost like at least $500 more than what it would cost somewhere else. Just to answer some of these questions. Amoy says, "Always life in Manitoba."
Um, to be honest, Amor, you have to be really solid when you move here. And when I say solid, I mean mentally solid. Because if I presume you're an adult and you have spent most of your years in Jamaica, it's very different. It's like night and day, especially when it comes to the weather. For me, I did not know that the weather affected me until I was probably 3 years in. There's this thing called SAD, I think it's called seasonal affect disorder or something like that, where once it starts to get cold, your mood, you just get depressed. And that started affecting me. So for me, if I did not have my faith, and if I wasn't a solid believer in Jesus Christ and an avid worshiper, I don't know if I could survive it. And I'm being very honest. It's not easy. We have 7 months of winter here, and it gets to ridiculous temperature. Like open your freezer and imagine 10 times that. Like literally, like it goes down to minus 47, minus 35.
You know what? I'm laughing because for me, I know exactly what you're talking about, but in my estimation, I'd say Manitoba is a little bit milder than Alberta, and like
Can't be.
okay, let's not get into that because like I know that we have like almost 9 months of winter here, and it gets as cool as minus 50, minus
Yeah, we
55,
too.
minus
Yeah, we
45.
too.
So pretty
Mhm.
much it's the same. But also, Amai wants to know, based on research, Manitoba is considered very dangerous. What's your opinion on this?
Um, it it's dangerous comparing to other cities in Canada. But it's just like with every other city in the world. There are some areas you just don't go. Like there are some areas in New York, you just don't go after 7 o'clock. Some areas in Atlanta, you just don't go after 7 hours. It's the same thing here. And because there is such a big drug problem, a lot of heroin, a lot of meth, a lot of crimes are happening because of the drug war, or because these people are off their heads and them just kill people because they're psychotic. So I haven't had any problem with crime per se. My business, however, is located in one of those areas, but I haven't been affected by it. But what
Okay,
can you
so in
do?
other words, common sense will prevail and use your common sense and you'll be fine.
Hmm.
Okay. Javier or Javier wants to know, were you tied to Manitoba? Or the work and because of the job that you came up with, the fact that you went to Manitoba, were you tied to the province?
I was my employer gave did a closed work permit, and when you have a closed work permit, you ain't going nowhere, nowhere. So we
So
had
how
to
long were
work
you
with
tied to the
McDonald's.
province?
I wasn't. Let me not say I was tight. Well, you get a 2 year I got a 2 year work permit that was closed to McDonald's in Selkirk, so I couldn't work anywhere else but the McDonald's in Selkirk, and I did that for 2 years.
Okay. But after you
Mm.
have done that and you've got your PR and all of that, then you are able to move and whatever.
Yeah, yeah. When you get your permanent
Okay.
residence, then you can work in other places. You can move to other. They don't recommend, but you can.
I gotcha. So HD Viva said respect, and Shansha Scott says that is why vitamins are recommended for those times. Lots of different vitamins. Amoy says 7 months of winter, mercy with 7 Ys. Melissa Ray Thomas says is Manitoba colder than the Atlantic provinces?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, yeah. It is. It is cold there. The Atlantic provinces are not as harsh as, and I think the reason why Manitoba is colder because it's in the middle. It's just smacked in the middle of Canada,
Yeah.
and we just get all light all the time.
So, from living in Canada, what I've noticed, and this is just my own observation, or there's no statistics to follow this up, I've noticed that Manitoba almost seems like the scamming capital of Canada. Like, if you get a call from Winnipeg, Manitoba, automatically it's somebody who's trying to scam you. Is that
Really?
like widely regarded? Is that like known in Manitoba?
Well, yes, since a lot of Africans and Nigerians here, them do a lot of scamming here for sure.
Okay, well, it's good to know that. Ken says, yeah, Alberta winter is stretched out too. Um, Amoy says, thanks for your transparency. And Amoy also says, would you recommend Manitoba as a first choice for international students? That's a very good question, by the way, Amoy.
You know, despite of my some of my experiences were really challenging and really bad, I would recommend it for a couple of reasons. The first one is that it's a cheaper province to live in. It's much cheaper than other provinces. The second thing is that I find that you get your papers processed here a lot quicker than some other provinces because the population is so low here. They kind of move a little bit faster. They want to fill up the spaces. And three, there is a whole bunch of Jamaican students coming here, and so you'll find community quickly.
Okay.
And there are a lot of families moving here too from the Caribbean, especially from Jamaica. So you will find community very quickly here.
Okay, that's awesome. Now you went to Canada. You came to Canada, sorry, as a temporary worker.
Mhm.
Were you able to get provincial health in Manitoba then?
Yes, it changed. When I came here as a worker, I got my health card probably 2 days in.
Okay, so there was no waiting period or anything like that.
No, and within it was 4 months late, not four, well, maybe 4 months later, I did my first major surgery on my health card. Didn't
Okay,
pay a
no
thing.
cost to you.
No.
Just one of the many reasons why you guys should definitely try and move to Canada. Canada
Hmm.
is known for its world-class healthcare system, and we're
Yeah.
not just saying that.
No,
It
that's
is
true.
actually world-class.
Yeah,
It is
it's true.
actually world-class.
It is
So,
true.
Patrice, what type of business do you operate?
So I have a Jamaican restaurant here. Ooh,
Yeah.
yes.
What's on the menu? Like, what are some of the stuff on the menu?
Okay. So what I was keen on doing was to do a lot of fusion. So the tagline is from the island to the prairies. So I do like in Canada, poutine. Poutine is a popular thing here. So I did like jerk chicken and Scotch bonnet aioli poutine. I do like braised oxtail pasta. I do regular stuff though. I do like curry goat, jerk chicken. I walk like a champion burger with
Well, that way I say.
yeah man. Yeah man. Yeah, with plantains on it. So though I try to get Jamaicans who are missing home, them get them cow skin soup. Like yesterday, I had cow skin soup on the menu, and people who haven't been to Jamaica, never tasted the food, they can taste it with what they're used to kind of ease them into what Jamaican food really is.
Well, I would definitely love to visit a restaurant, definitely, right? And you know what? Like, some of us who are part of this community are planning to go to a cabin or something next year, somewhere else. So, but we haven't been able to locate a chef. So who knows? I probably have to go book you for a weekend and you come in, come cook
That's
some
true.
food for me and thing. Definitely. So the Taylor family says, so what would be your advice to someone moving to Manitoba?
All right. The first advice I will give is when you get here, pray. Or before you get here, pray that this is where you should be and that you're in the will of God. Because first of all, if you're not in the will of God, it's going to seem 10 times harder than it should feel. And secondly, when you get here, find community. It's very important. And I keep on stressing on community because that is what helped me. When I moved here, any person who I saw that was a black person, because in the small town that I lived there, I probably saw about probably two or three black persons there. You know, see black people and stuff. So a friend of mine took us down, a girl that we were working with in the restaurant took us down to Winnipeg to have dinner one night, and I saw these three black people walking, and I was like, oh my god, I wonder if them are Jamaican. Let me hear what them say when them talk, and I heard them, and they were Jamaicans. And in Canada, I don't know nobody. I didn't come here with a husband. I didn't come here. I didn't have no children. I was here by myself. So I jump out and I say, "Hey, you guys are Jamaican?" They say like, "Yeah." So I started talking to them, and they're like, "Where do you live?" I said, "I said, oh my God, what do you doing out there?" So, and then the lady said to me, "Oh, we have a church," and she's the secretary of the church, and she gave me the card, and my life has never been the same. I would borrow my friend's car when she worked on Sundays. I would borrow her car to drive into Winnipeg to go to church. And when I came into Winnipeg, it was like, oh my God, a church full of Jamaican people. Lie not. Yeah, lie.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it was so amazing to meet people, and people were excited to get to know me, and I was excited to get to know them, and all of these people are still my very, 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 very good friends up to this day.
I can definitely agree with you in terms of definitely be a part of a community, because like Canada is not a very easy country when you're by yourself. You're definitely gonna need that support, right? So we do understand that. The Taylor's family says, "Wow, Jamaican restaurants seem like I'm not the only one thinking about that." Amar says there are two big cities in Manitoba. Can you give a comparative analysis on both?
I think it's Brandon. They may consider another big city. It's not really big, but it's the next. It's where a lot of students go to because there's a university out there. I think it's called the University of Brandon and Assiniboine College. A lot of
Okay.
nursing students go to Assiniboine. I have friends that went there. I don't know much about Brandon. Never lived there, but it is about 2 hours from Winnipeg,
Hmm.
and it's much smaller than Winnipeg. It's probably quarter the size or less than Winnipeg.
I
Hmm.
gotcha. Amar also says, "Congrats on your business. Looks like we need to come visit and get some food."
Is
Um,
Amoy living in Jamaica now? She's moving to Manitoba soon.
Amo is living in Jamaica right now, but you know what? She's definitely gonna be in Canada next year, but she's thinking of going to one of the Atlantic provinces. I'm trying to
Okay.
get her to change her mind to come to Alberta, but you know what? Patrice, after watching this live, she's probably gonna change her mind and go to Manitoba. Who knows, right?
Who knows? Who knows?
Shantia says you don't have any pictures of restaurants on the menu. We'll get that started afterwards, definitely.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Taylor family says prayer is key. Amar says, what are the future goals for your business?
Having this business, has been a lifetime dream, a lifelong dream. I started cooking from 9. My grandmother was a restaurateur. She owned a restaurant in Jamaica, and so it really grew on me. And I've always wanted to have a brand, so I want to have a chain restaurant. So this one is our first, and it will be the flagship restaurant. But I'm planning to put more locations across Western Canada. in the near
I'll
future.
definitely say on your list of location, consider Grand Prairie, Alberta. It's badly in need of a Jamaican restaurant. I mean, like, in order to get some Jamaican food, I have to drive 4.5 to 5 hours to Edmonton, which is, yeah, just to get
And
some
it's
Jamaican
expensive.
food.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay.
Definitely. So Simone McLean Brown says prayer indeed is key. Kenisha Roberts says so true. Tritwood Kim says what is entertainment like for a family or a couple?
You know what? I- Coming from Jamaica, where I beer excitement all the time, everywhere, every day. One is always like that. After a while, you will get into the things that the Canadians do for fun. So, what was entertainment for me in Jamaica? Changed. You know, my liking changed, by being here. Like I'm never like no entertainment for me here is going to the lake,
Hmm. I can definitely
go.
relate. I understand.
Uh-huh.
I absolutely understand.
Entertainment here is having a dinner party at a restaurant. Entertainment is also bowling, going bowling, and it's very tempered. Ve- And me, I just start the truth. Me a Christian too, so me nah go club. Club they here, you know. Here, listen, stay and beer excitement out there, you know. But me nah go. But it is there.
But it is there. Okay, is there like
Mhm.
a Caribbean centric club, like a Caribbean like vibe club, or is it just like I know you haven't been there, so you're not really talk based on experience,
Me
but do
can't
you know if
answer
there's
you.
anything like
I
that?
don't know. I don't know. But what I do know, they have a Jamaican Association Hall. They have they call it Jam Hall. Um, them keep dance down there. The only reason I know because they do other functions there, and sometimes I will cater there. Like if they're having banquets or anything like that, I would do that. But I don't know if them have like a dance hall club, and
Okay.
you know.
Well, tell you what, when I'm in Manitoba, I'll definitely look around, so I'll be able to answer all those questions. Because if it didn't,
Absolutely,
me, I'll go find it. I promise you guys that. um,
absolutely.
Amoy says, no dems, not changing to Manitoba, lol. The Taylor's family says, oh, the chef came from grandma. The chef is come from grandma.
Yes.
Um, Simon McLean Brown says, the oxtail looks tempting every time I see your posts. So I'm definitely gonna come by sometime in the future. Well, you know
No
what, Simon,
problem,
when I get
sir.
here, me and you definitely I go there because I've got to try that oxtail, something there, and jerk chicken, poutine, something there, and all of them stuff there. What is your IG handle? Definitely I'll just share that in the chat in a bit, so you guys can definitely run over to Patrice's business page on IG and definitely show her some love and support. Um, Shancia says, oot or at, I'm not sure. Please forgive me for pronouncing it wrong. Way to go, girl. It's oot, way
Thank
to go,
you.
girl. Okay. Nuts and Them's real talk, which is nuts in the background around there somewhere, says 52 persons on the live. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up, guys. And if not, say it to me, no, not forgot to do it. Try it with Kim says, was it challenging to open your own business as a Jamaican, or I'd open it up and say as a black woman?
I think the most challenging part was that um basically when you're in them country you have to have money to start these things. Especially a new venture in the middle of COVID, no bank now look one way. So we opened the business with raw cash money from our pocket. It was hard because we had to find that woolly for thousands of US Canadian dollar for buy the business and
Hmm.
set it up the way we wanted it to. But with community again, the support has been there. Our accountant is Jamaican and she not charge with dollar because she says so we are two young girl that try start life. Yeah. So she do our book for us. And then there are so many people in the community that came to assist. So that is why me I tell you no, community is important. When you come in, you know, go and like say, when you want to talk to people and to talk to people, that will help when you talk to people.
I absolutely second that, by the way. Just to say,
Mhm.
guys, definitely. thumbs up the live, subscribe if you're new. Don't be hesitant to forward in the chat if you have any questions that you want to ask of Patrice or myself. We are here and would love to open answer your questions. As you guys know, guys, I'm on this immigration consultant journey, so you guys can check out my GoFundMe in the link in the description. Please go and show me some support. I'm not even supposed to say it so often still, but unfortunately, that's the world we're living in right now. So you guys can definitely go and give me some support. That's the dream that we really love to become a reality. All right. Um, Shanika Ben says join late. It's better late than never. Lisa Nation said thumbs up. Tabika Gay Rodriguez says with all that you have experienced, what would you have changed, or did you think you made the right choice?
Tamika, that's a very good question. I was talking to a friend of mine just now who walked with me through this journey. We have been friends for a very long time, and when I moved here, I still maintain the relationship. We're really good friends. And I was talking to her about this that I'm gonna come on, and she was like, "Well, um, who would Patrice be if she didn't come to Manitoba?" And I thought about it, and I was saying to her that I don't know. I really don't know who I would be or where I would be, but I do know one thing. I know that Manitoba helped me to grow spiritually and mentally. It really stretched my faith. Um, would I would change a couple things. I maybe would probably maybe I would probably change I don't know. I don't know.
Sounds like not a lot of stuff you would change, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, and the reason why I stop on it because I often think about the things that I go through were necessary. You know what I mean? So while
I
it
know what
was
you mean.
hard, would I really change it? You know what I mean? Like it helped me to grow. It helped to help my mind to be developed. It gave me tenacity, it gave me buoyancy. So as much as I hated it, I don't know if I would really change it because it made me who I am today. You know what I mean?
I
So
understand.
yeah,
So in
that's
other
what I
words, you appreciate the journey because that is what has brought you to where you are right now. So
right.
if you had changed anything, then I wouldn't know which part of their life right now. I totally understand that fully, fully,
I think
fully.
I made the right choice too, because as I told you, I knew no one in Canada when I made this. When I made that call to Ministry of Labour, I don't have a cousin here. I don't have an uncle, or auntie, I have nobody. I have no family. So I knew that I was in the will of God when I answered the call to come here. The will of God not always easy, and I went through some very challenging times there initially, with from the company that hired us and how poorly they treated us, to dealing with racism, dealing with seasonal depression, dealing with a young marriage. Me I try and navigate this new country with a new husband and whole heap of things. And my husband came here. My husband's an engineer. When he came here, I couldn't find a job. He had to work at Walmart to pack produce on the shelf. So you can tell me where every onion and tomato they know. I have to ask him no wait there. Yeah. And it stressed him. And I had to learn how to deal with a husband who couldn't manage the pressure because he might come from Saudi Arabia. My husband moved to Saudi Arabia and worked in the Middle East for a while. And as an engineer trainer, and then me convinced the little man now for come here. So in the middle of this cold place, no money, no job. It was hard and it rocked my marriage. That is why me I telling you, when I move here, make sure it's on a solid in a God. But now, so the trouble's not gonna come. I'm not saying it's not gonna get challenging. What I'm saying is that when you have that faith and when you have that community, it helps you to navigate it a little bit better.
I really appreciate that so much, and I definitely thank you for sharing that by the way. But we'll get a little deeper into that by the way as well. Let's just read some chat. Lisa Stedford says, "Open one in Belleville,
Yeah.
Ontario."
I need to
No,
find them.
definitely, it's a thought in a
No, we
Grand
need to
Prairie
write
before
it
we share
down. We
this.
need to write them down because I could gotta give me one little sign to say, see it there, write the song. Yeah.
Definitely. Amor says, Patrice, would you employ any international students?
I have a stu I have I have employed an international student right now. He's working with me.
Whoa, big up for
Mhm.
that.
And he's
Definitely,
not in
because
food.
international.
He's not in food, he's in IT. And he's so amazing. And I would hate for him to leave me. He has to leave me in January because he has to do his practicum. I'm sad because he's really a good guy.
But you know what, Patrice? We have a lot of international students in the chat right now. So would
Yeah.
you be open to them sending you their resume or anything if they're in the Winnipeg
Absolutely.
area? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Them African
Absolutely.
cook though, like them African cook.
No man, no man, no man, no man. Because he listen, my student I have there, Chris never peel a potato in his life. His mother do everything for him. So no, no, he's making all my samosas, he's making all my rotis. You'll be fine, I promise you, you'll be fine.
Okay, perfect. Um, Kenisha Roberts says yes, you have to have money.
Mhm.
Tanika Silvera says, "Hey guys, new and just arrived. Blessings, so much, Tanika. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you have given a thumbs up. Thank you for joining the live for the first time. Welcome to this awesome community. Really hope that you find value here as well. Well, and guys, man, Mr. Wolipa chat to the amount of chat that is coming in. Shansia Scott says, true man, lots of Jamaican, when them go abroad, them separate themselves from other Jamaican, don't want to mix. Kenisha Roberts says, welcome, Tanika Silvera. Tritud Kim says, I'm an accountant too. I wouldn't charge you either. We here to build each
Okay.
other. Kenisha
Hmm.
Roberts says, you're going to love it here.
Yeah, Tanika, she was probably referring to.
Yes. Absolutely. Tanika Silver says, thank you, Kenisha Roberts. She's just responding there. Kenisha says, yes, testing times allows to have a testimony. Amar says, wow, that's a story, Iman. Lisa Stedford says, sometimes we have to appreciate the struggles. They help direct our path. Amor says, preach. Kenisha Roberts says, wow, wow, wow. Thanks for that. Office solid in the God for real. Rashida Bailey says, yes, Patrice, God is a keeper. Tritud Kim says, you're a strong woman. Blessings. Anika Miller says, just tuning in. Congratulations, Patrice. Blessings abundantly. The Taylor's
Thank
family
you,
says, I'm so
Lisa.
proud of you to see where you are coming from. And guys, keep the comments coming, but John was a lot. Amor says, is your husband doing better?
Um, he is doing much better, and he finally got a job that is in his field, and it's a retirement job, and I'm so happy for him. It's a Monday to Friday too, and mentally he's doing much better because depression is a beast in this country, and he went through that, and I'm so happy that I could have held his hand through it, and he's doing much better now into a good solid job.
Okay, that's great. Um, Been through all those challenges that you have spoke about earlier, right? Would you
Mhm.
encourage anyone to leave their good jobs in Jamaica or anywhere in the world? Because we do have people from other parts of the world watching our channel as well. From any country that they are, would you encourage them to come to Canada?
All right. You see, if you have a plan for your life and you trust that God is leading you to Canada, come, come, you can come. If you just want to come because any reason we may not spread the root in your heart, reconsider it because it is not easy. Typical example: my aunt is visiting me here now. She's from Jamaica. She visit the states all the time, and she come. I leave church, I will go to supermarket, and we have pick up. And she said, Tim call me Raquel. I said, but Raquel, oh, the food's so dear. Food at USA not expensive, so it's expensive to live in Canada. It's not a joke. It's expensive to live in Canada. Where you couldn't get for probably $1.15 at the States, you get it for $4 here. So it's way more expensive. So be intentional about your reason to move here. If you are coming here for school, all good and done because once these employers see that you have Canadian education, you're gonna lead. There's no
You're gonna
holding
leave.
back. You're gonna lead. That was a challenge for me because I did not have a Canadian education. All of my education was in Jamaica. And if that is the reason, I'm support you 100%. If you're coming here for a job and you have the job and no living arrangement I go and you have your money in your bank account, not a problem. When you come here, and because over here run a credit system, I can be very honest and transparent with you. Jamaican I run the credit system and I was there. I don't know if it changed now. I never appreciate that. So I mash up my credit card and mash up my credit in the first 3 years, I back another. Come here, see me tell the people in credit card. I said, sure, I not pay to them. I not the money for pay to them. I have my grocery for buy. So me miss the payment and not realizing that when you miss credit card payment, it chop up your credit.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be mindful of these things. You have to be very responsible. If you're not used to paying bills at Jamaica, you have to come here, come learn what is bill payment. And you have to be on time. You have to be on time because you're going to pay for it. Because what is going to happen is that you're going to miss the bill payments and then your credit is going to be so low. When you go to the bank, you can't get no credit card, you can't get a car, you can't get anything like that. And for the past couple of years, I have spent the years rebuilding my credit, meaning that I went without a credit card for about 3 years because the devil card me call that. Me don't want to feel like that because it's easy to come off, but it's when you're supposed to make back those payments and that thing, trouble.
I absolutely agree. Tanika Silvera says, would it be wise to borrow money from a bank or any other financial institution to show us proof of funds or help with the process? Let me answer that question, dear Patrice. No, I wouldn't say it's a case of wise or unwise. I would say it's a case of your own situation and your own circumstances, right? I always tell people that listen, if you want to come to Canada as an international student, one is very expensive in order to finance your thing, right? So you're gonna need money. If you can see how you can repay that loan without defaulting on that loan, then I'd say go for it. But it's also dependent on your own circumstances, right? So not one size fit all. Look on your own circumstances. If it is that there's no other option, I'd say instead of telling yourself that there's no option and give up on your dream, go for it and hope for the best and make the best of the situation. That's what I would say.
Good
The Taylor
answer.
family says, if a family of six wants to migrate to Canada, what's the quota you would say that person is supposed to save? Um, I would say there's no such thing as too much money with Canadian immigration. The more money is the merrier. But I would say it depends on the road that you're taking. If you guys are looking to come as a temporary worker, then you are gonna not need to show as much because you're gonna be in a job and then they're gonna be able to finance a family. But to come as a temporary worker, it's kind of like it's very tricky. So usual case is one person has to come first on a LMIA that Patrice alluded to as well, and then the other persons can come after the person has gotten either full-time employment outside of a LMIA, i.e. a open work permit or a permanent residency, or if it is that you guys want to apply for express entry based on the fact that you probably have Canadian work experience before, you can just probably save on $5 million or $4 million, and then everything else go together and then bring up your points as best as possible. But again, it's not one size fit all; it's a comprehensive thing. Amoy says, I am so glad we are building a strong community because we are going to need support in every aspect. Absolutely. And Kenisha Roberts says, always church in Manitoba.
um, Church in Manitoba is very different from Jamaica. And because the people in the church, in my church, let me talk for my church, they are Jamaicans who have been here for a very long time. And so they're not as fiery as people in back home. And I have a problem with it because it just feel tight. It feel very it don't feel authentic. It just feel like people put on them clothes and wake up in the morning and decide, say, oh, come for this some 11 o'clock and me I go. I think I go down 1 o'clock and me I just go home after. There is no fire and there's no deep yearning for serve God. And that of the church may I come from. Me I come from, praying in the spirit and being on fire for God. I'm now watch time. You have people once pastor preach close to 12:55 and I want to them start look on the clock and them start take up them bag and pastor preach and them a take up them bag same way. Because them a go home, them done, them give them 2 hours, them not give no more. And you find that people are very focused on themselves here. I don't know if it's the same thing for you, but they're very individualistic here. So in a Manitoba, everybody are focused on them savings, them RRSP, them basement. If them go below them basement, which cottage, which cabin them a go rent next. Everybody does focus on that, and nobody now focus on God. But so the answer to your question is that it is very different, auntie, and that is why you have to keep relation with people back home. If you're a church person, keep the relationship strong with the friends that you're going to leave there. So my friends know back home, them send me them church live, and also me keep strong because I follow them people and backslide quick. Yeah, you look
Um, Yeah, I can definitely relate. Canada is a very individualistic society. Everybody's more like about their own thing and doing their own thing. So I do understand that. Michael Bailey says, "Boss is looking sharp today. You know what the barber did overdue a visit, so I definitely make booking an appointment and get a visit. I start out earlier. But thank you so much for noticing." Amoy says, "Like up the live, guys." Kenny Sharbert says, "So true, Amoy. I honestly feel." Love for you guys and don't know y'all personally. Thank you so
Aw.
much, guys. You know we love you guys too. And that is why I say, y'all, just subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't subscribed already. Thumbs up. Check out the GoFundMe in the link below and share the live as well so other persons can get this awesome information. Um, where am I at? I'm at Amoy. Yes, Ken, a real blessing. Michael Bailey says, seem like some parts of Canada are harder than some. Just like anywhere else in the world, my brother, that's just how it is. You have
Mhm.
some places that are naturally easier than some. Nuts and them's real talk says everybody's journey is different. Patty W says thanks for being vulnerable and transparent.
Of
Amar says
course.
right up the live, guys. Tajay Rose says good evening, everyone. Sorry to be late. Me did a cook. There I know. Amoy says 63 people watching. Look, hold on, Amoy. That the way up here, sir. Amoy says 63 people watching and 31 likes. Smash the like button. I second that, guys. Please, as on the follow in, just like the live. All right. Um, Bertar says, with regards to permanent residency, could you tell me what the process is like with regards to express entry, systems, and the minister's instruction and all they select based on the pool? To be honest, Brent, that is what I'm trying to get qualified for now, so I'm able to give you guys more information as it relates to the different aspects of immigration. Because to be honest, we are not quite savvy in regards to providing information in that regards as yet, but we're trying to fix that so we can provide information on all different aspects of immigration outside of just an international student, right? Vanessa, Shanique, I'm sorry if I butchered your name by the way, Vanessa, but that's what it sounds like to me. Vanessa Shanique says, hey everyone just tuning in. Thank you so much for being here. Brent Harris says, also, how does the provincial nomination program play into the express entry in terms of the points and what criteria does each province require with regards to international students to be submitted for PNP? So each province has different requirements as it relates to provincial nomination. You have to look on the expectations and requirements of the province that you are thinking of going. Now, what does the point system do? What happens is the pool, right? The express entry pool is really a pool that different provinces can look into and then invite persons from the pool to apply to their provinces. Now, what determines the amount of points you have is if you have Canadian work experience, Canadian school experience, your age, if you have family in Canada, amount of money you have, stuff like that. The more points you have, is the greater the chances are of you being selected in long and short. If it is that if you got a provincial nomination, that's automatically a 600 addition points to whatever points you would have had before, and a total maximum of points is 1,000. That's the maximum amount of points that is in the pool. So the closer you are to that, is the better you are of being selected. That's all I know about it, my brother. That's all I know about it. Unfortunately, but we're trying to change that, right? Shancia Scott says, "Church water down a foreign."
Bad. Mm-hmm.
Midnight says, "Yes, I feel the same way. This about church too." Amar
Mhm.
says, Lord Patrice, them strict with them timey.
Ah, that's
Kenisha
true too.
Kenisha Roberts says, oh my, um, no sir, them I put time on God. Okay, thank you. Anika Miller says, Patrice, don't hurt us, bless up. Amar says, Patrice is a vibe, man. She not put her motor going and tag. Thank you so much, love. For that, Patrice. Vanessa Shanique says, I am so afraid to come to the supermarket when I arrive in Canada. It says, respect, Pat, love you dearly. Javier says, some provinces you have to apply to directly. Okay, I think
Mm.
I'm caught up on all of those chats. By the way, guys, you guys can
Love you
definitely
too, Brad.
join our channel by becoming a member. Just hit on that join button, i.e. not available in Jamaica. I don't know why it's not, but it's just not. Also, guys, you can consider giving us a super chat if you like the content as well. Just hit on that dollar sign that is right down below in the chat right there. So I'm blessed up the Andersons. All right. Patrice, what is racism like in Winnipeg?
Um,
Well, not
it
in
is.
Winnipeg. Let's rephrase the question. What experiences have you had in with racism since you've been in Canada?
All right. When I just moved here, as I told you, we went to this small town, Selkirk, and there weren't a lot of black people living out there. That might change now, but it wasn't when I was there. Um, I worked at McDonald's, so then people up here them love McDonald's. So I saw most people, most of the people in the city, in the town, we would see them because they would come every day for the coffee, every day for the burger, every day for everything. So what I find was that I remember one day I was on the front as me now the manager working and I say, me I do cashier, me I cash and I make burger and I make coffee. And I was cashing one day and a gentleman I saw him standing to the side, kind of hesitant in coming to the front because it was me and the other two Jamaican girls who were working the front. There was a white girl in the back, like she was doing the fries. So he was trying to make eye contact with her. And we were wondering what's going on. So I asked her, she knew him. She said no. So he eventually came up because I guess he was waiting long and he ordered what he wanted to order. And I was cashing and I was giving back him his change because where I'm from, you put money in people's hand as a mark of respect. That was we not show them money bank counter. So my granny grew me never know say it no go suffering. So I was giving him his change and he said to me, oh no, put it on the counter. Like it was like, oh don't put it down there. I'ma say, all right. And, and I put it down. And then he would come back and he would not buy his coffee for cashing. He would stand at the front of the McDonald's and wait to see a white person come to the front and whether the person a sweep, whether the person a clean the trash can, once them white, they are the one that's making the coffee for him.
Okay, so at that point in time, you were not the restaurant manager. What did your manager do about that situation? Was anything done?
No, 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 because they themselves have their own agendas and discriminatory feelings because
Hmm.
another thing that I experienced with them was my manager, we had five of us there and four of them drove, I didn't drive. And in Selkirk the bus stopped running at 5:30 p.m. Don't go past 5:30 p.m. That goes to show it's a really small town and nothing happens after a certain time. So she would schedule me for the 3:30 to 11:30 shift at night. And I had to say to her, Michelle, woman, I have no bus
No
to go
care.
home.
No
And I'm
care.
like, there are four of you guys that drive. So only can work the evening shift. Or put me with somebody that drives where them can, give me a ride home at 11:30 in the night. And she was adamant that I am going to work the night shift forever and ever. Amen. So because me have like a rebellious spirit in me, and I have to pray for me. Because me have like a rebellious spirit in me. When she scheduled me for 3:30, I would go to work for 3:30. But best believe I'm leaving at 5:25 when the last bulbs leaves.
Yeah, because you have to reach out yet.
Do I have no other way of getting home? So
Mm.
I would leave at 5:25. And she made a big deal out of it. But I was resolute. I can't do it.
Hmm.
So
You
it
know, I
happened
can't
in the
be able to
workplace.
walk yet.
And I had to do that before. Like I had to walk in the winter. Sorry, my baby, I cried. Sorry.
No, no, that's fine. I have two. I know what it is.
Win. Turn off the overspin, please. Yeah, so I had to walk home in -30 weather already, and it was like an hour walk. Um, it's just all around. Like even now, when you go into a store, even now, 2021, I'm so uncomfortable going in some stores here
Hmm.
in Winnipeg because when you walk in, people look at you like,
Yeah, the
oh,
eyes. You
the
get the
eyes.
eyes.
I don't know if you experience it, but I still experience it. Up to a couple of days ago, I went into Walmart and I saw the manager because I'm very keen on those things. I saw the manager eyeing one of his employees to kind of come where we were. Me and
Hmm.
my aunt wanted to get our reading glasses, wanted to come to eye him over to come where we were to see what we're. And I'm like, if you don't move,
If
if
I
you
ever
ever,
come and ask if we need help, may I?
so it
um,
happened.
you know what? It's funny enough you share that story about the customer who wouldn't come to you because I've had a similar experience as that. So while I was a student still, I was a part-time teller at the bank that I work with now still. But no longer part-time or anything like that. But at the time I was a part-time teller. Um, I remember I was at work one day. Well, not necessarily one day. There was this particular customer who everyone at the bank known this customer to be a racist because I had Indian coworkers at the time who this customer would never go to. If he comes to the bank and that person was the only teller available, he would never go to that person. So that person ended up getting another position, no longer a teller or anything like that. At the time, I was a part-time teller, and then because there was always another teller available, coincidentally, he just always ended up going to, of course, the white teller. So I remember one specific day we were extremely short staffed. There were only two tellers at the time. It was me and one of my coworkers who was on lunch at the time. So when he came into the bank, I was the only teller available, and that guy stood in the bank and would never come to me. And I remember my coworker was a guy. He was just literally coming through the front door with his lunch that he went and grabbed like from across the street to go to the lunchroom and have. And the guy was like, "Oh, I, can you help me?" And he was like, "No, I can't help you. Demar is right there. Why don't you go to Demar?" And he didn't say anything. He was just like there. But the bank that I work with, what I appreciate the fact that they didn't stand for that at all, and they ended up closing all his accounts and told him that he can no longer bank with us or anything like that. So, which is why I asked you, what did your manager do about it? Because, like, I have personal experiences that at work, but the bank don't stand for that at all. So, any customer would like show any form of racism, then they just pretty much just get rid of them.
But you see, the challenge is that sometimes it is not as bold faced as that man, displayed. The problem we had it with the owner of the McDonald's, keep in mind that this is one man and his wife that owns three McDonald's. So it's not like a big corporation like like a TD Bank or a CIBC or RBC. He owns three McDonald's because he come from wealth, he can afford three McDonald's. It doesn't change how I view black people. And when I
Yeah.
came here, I said to them that, here what, I can work any day, Monday to Saturday, but me I beg gonna give me Sunday so I can go my little church. Please put
Hmm.
me for work anytime, Monday to Saturday, anytime. Me work with it. I'm already in a close permit with you guys. I'm just asking for my Sunday to be off. You have a lot of kids that work here that don't go to school on Sundays. They will
Mm-hmm.
love to work the shift because they can't come on a long shift Monday to
Idealities.
Saturday because they
I
must
get a little
whatever.
extra money.
Right. And the man looked at me square in my eye, curl him lip, and look upon me and tell me, say, him hire me on a 24/7 basis. Mr. Sir Liar tell slavery them long time, long, long. You can't hire me. Me's not the fire department, me's not 911, me's none of them somebody else. They can't hire me for McDonald's 24/7. There's no way. This is
There's no way.
McDonald's. Sir. There's no way. So as much as it might not be bold face, they have the notion that we come here for work and I'm going to work here.
Mm-hmm. Especially because you have a LMIA, it's probably like feel like you're obligated to them
No,
and
it's
stuff
not
like that.
feel more. Him have the notion that that's how it go. Like we are
Mm-hmm.
obligated to him because he would say to us that okay, he's going to renew our work permit once it was coming close to the 2 year mark. And I said to him, okay, well, I've been here and I've been working for $11 since it started. Can I get a raise to 13 at least because me can't live off at $11 here,
After
sir.
left office.
And the next day I got a termination, immediate a letter of termination, immediate effect next day.
What?
And in the letter it said, please let us know when you go back at which date, which date you go back to Jamaica, can we obligate you to buy a one-way ticket back.
No man, no man, no but go further another story there. Well I stick up in right here so though because we want to go further another story there. But let me just get rid of some of these chats that we have been ignoring for a little bit. So Vanessa Click says Atanika Silvera true. LM well off my I won't say it off. Same in Trinidad, the struggle is real. Kenny Sherbert says SMH, but that not look good. Glad he waited for them to come and serve him. Very terrible. Shake my head. The Taylor family says, guys, please welcome to the Andersons live stream. Please remember to thumbs up. Absolutely. Danique Knight put a hand on her face emoji. Kenny Sherbert says, but Mitch never did a think, lol. You did the right thing, sis. You should have went to the union and complained. Amoy says, yes, Patrice, know your worth. I love that. Javier says, did you well on the guys, Wally chat. I forgot go back little because I feel like I miss a lot of them. Hold on, the guys. Hold on, the guys. Javier says, "Did you had applied for restaurant manager position from Jamaica, Patrice?" Yes. So she did
Yes.
apply for a restaurant manager position, but unfortunately, when she got here, it was a cashier position. We did speak about that before as well. Michael Bailey says everything in Jamaica now quote in US dollars. Might as well them turn the country in a US currency. Amoy says, facts, Michael. I always ask where we are. Michael Bill says, the tour from Miami Bay to Spanish Town is $1,600 now. I can't bother. Michael Bill also says, Jamaica cost of living, I'm going to kill me. KMT, Canada must be better in cost of living. Donick Knight says, in Brighty. Cushion Edward says, I'm late, but I am here. Anika Miller says, liar tells her, slavery done long time. At
Long
Patrice.
time.
The Knight says, girl, I prefer the bold faced racists because I know to be aware of them. That manager terrible. Kenisha Roberts says, I've never experienced racism. I pray to Lord I've never experienced it because I don't know how I'd react. Knowing me, I don't fight, but my mouth isn't nice. Sigh. Don't eat nice shock emoji. Kenisha Roberts says, what? Amoy says, what? Amoy also says, no man. Plot twist. Simone McLeanbroad says, what a man wicked. I don't understand how they hate black people. But they hire black people to work for them. Vanessa Clee says, does the LMIA enable you to work 24/7, no days off?
A month.
Johnny Knight says, I've only experienced people not wanting to interact with me, but I was working as a customer service, but not like that. Tanika Silver says, I agree with you on that, Michael. And Ken Beckford Seaburn says, Jamaica is too expensive. It can't be compared to Canada. Tanika Silver says facts, and Ken Beckford says, "Girl, hold the faith. Thank God you made it out." I think we're
Thank
fully
God,
covered.
Kian. Thank God. I fast and pray, see?
We make it out now. So tell me about that one way ticket and now where your boss the plan to buy and send her back to
So,
Jamaica.
all right. All right. All right. And this is what I'm telling you. The community, once again, is important. When I came here in November, December, January, February, March, April, right? I have my roommate, two roommates, and is it from we land 3 weeks in? We see what it's all about. We see say we don't come here for no manager position because all of us had degrees. When the man came and did the interview, a degree was the basic requirement, basic. So you had to have a degree and more. Um, so everybody thinks, oh, I'm one degree. That means, yeah, man, we are restaurant manager. Yeah, man. So when we landed, we realized within 3 weeks that this is crazy. So what we did in Manitoba at that time, I don't know if it's the same. No, I think it has changed. No, I believe it changed. You had to be working for 6 months for you to start to apply, for you to apply for um what do you call it now, the letter of intent to apply, for you to
For
start
the
processing
Express
your
entry,
permanent
for
residence.
the permanent
Uh,
residency.
Yes. So you have to be working for 6 months. So you see what when we realize that this is crazy because we're now locked into a closed work permit with this monster of a boss, we have to be on top of things with the PR. So he didn't know that we all of us started to apply for a permanent resident like at the 6 month mark. Like I came here in November and I put in my permanent resident papers
6 months
April
after.
6th, April 6th, like on the
On the
ball.
6th month, exactly.
So when the process was going on, he didn't know that some of the immigration requirements changed because prior to us, the employer had to sign off on some of the things that the immigration department would need. But when we were doing it, they changed that because they're realizing that some employees were abusing the workers and they weren't signing them up because the intent for them to come to Canada was for them to was for them to stay here. But some of the employers just make you come here, work you out, and then send you back home.
Send her back here
So
with a one-way ticket.
on a one-way ticket. So immigration recognized that. So some of the things that they require for the employees to sign, they didn't require it anymore. So we were doing our paperwork in the background, wasn't saying anything to him or anything like that. And so when I asked for the raise, my roommate them say, enough, Patrice, say for so far and keep quiet. And cause them not tell me a lot talk up in the group. So he I guess he was upset or offended or I don't know what him think. I don't deserve $2 more. So he gave me I still have the email a termination letter with immediate effect stating that my position now, like I said, they're revamping the structure of the and the the foolishness of HR tell them when
Location
they
and
don't
yada
want.
yada.
Yeah. So that is it. And then while you're at it, which date do you plan on going back? Because we're obligated to buy a one-way ticket to you to go back home. But what he didn't know was that I was already on the tail end of getting my papers. I
Yeah.
didn't get the PR at that time because it was still processing. But what I did, I applied for open work permit and it was approved.
Bridging work permit until you get your PR, it's called.
Come on, girl, come on. So that's what I did. And then when that was probably in November, my husband wasn't working because he came here. I worked at Walmart, but hurt him back lifting up all them heavy stuff.
Heavy
So
box
he
and
wasn't
stuff.
working. So him we there in that apartment, him now work, me just lose my work. I was just home one Sunday night. I pressed my uniform and got an email on my phone. I read the email, I see the termination letter. So me, God, I want to be alive. This, it really shook me. I can't laugh about it now. But it really shook me up because now my husband now make them now work, me now work. What am I going to do? But the blessing in all of this, I'm going to repeat it again to the tired of me, is the community is important. I call my pastor. I say, Pastor, my pastor is from St. Vincent. wonderful man. Anybody come Manitoba, una have to know Pastor Lane. Jim. I said, Pastor, this is the situation. Him said, okay, Patrice, can you come into the city tomorrow? I said, sure, yeah. Him we come into the city and he said, okay, can you look for an apartment in the city? In the city here, Winston is an engineer. There are more jobs for him. You can get another job somewhere else. And my pastor paid my rent and paid my deposit for 2 months. We got a job.
Yeah,
I
for
got a
drop
job.
a link to your church, because right now, all for people are gonna join the church for get their rent paid for 2 months, so I'm gonna share that link there.
Listen, listen, my pastor, my pastor, not like, oh, you see, we are going to foolishness, we are going now. True, man, true,
It's not in
true, man, is so
excellence.
low for Christ. So, that's how I moved to the city. My pastor told me to get a place. He wrote me a check. I found the place, he wrote me the check, and I get paid over the check. And that is how I started living in Winnipeg.
Okay. So what did your boss do after he found out all of that? That you
I,
was
you know what? I had no contact with him until 2019. I flew to New York City. And when I was coming back, we overlay in Minneapolis. And guess who I saw? Barry Bruce. Barry Bruce and his wife, Sophie Bruce. And the
hmm
man looked disheveled. The man looked like him just done smoking a bathroom. Him just look wild. And I sat there and he might look for me and it's like him I take him eyes and like him I say, oh, I'm not
He's
Patrice's.
trying to wonder if it is that the girl who used to work with us back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he might try, but I may make my friend them know me, my bare face. So when I'm going on the plane now, I sit down in a first class too, yeah, with him right up there. And, and I went in and I said, hi Barry, nice to see you. He was like, hi Patrice.
But I'm
I
the
said,
girl who you gave the
I said, have a
termination letter.
wonderful, listen, Mister, have a wonderful flight. And I just sit on my little seat behind him in the first class. You hear me? And we flew to Winnipeg.
Exactly.
And when I landed, I got straight through, as in, right through with my documents
The
and
PR
everything.
like, go apply for no visa and so how long you
Yeah,
gonna be in the country? I just gone where
yeah,
you go.
yeah, like the lyrics says, right through, like night drew, right through, my God, right through. And the
Wow,
man was
yo.
just in amazement when I was at the bag. Him stand up and him can't believe some is still in the country. And then the other day we were featured, my restaurant was featured with my picture on the front page of the Winnipeg Free Press. I'm just
Yeah,
know saying really I hurt him, but my pray for
yeah.
him. Mhm.
Okay,
Wicked
Patrice, let's
man.
stick up in and get some of these chats out before we can't read no more. So the Taylor family says the bus is out of order. I saw them stay. Shanique says, so what happened after you got the termination letter? This serious. Well, I read one comment. Agent Grace says, hey, good evening. Welcome, Agent. Blessing. Always a pleasure to have you here, bro.
Hi, Ajan.
Well, and there's quite a few. There's quite a few. Let's go. Where am I at?
Bye.
Yeah, man, my kind of touch the button, so I go up back. Well, on, guys. Well, on, every comment I get read. Amar says, "Hey, knowledge is power, my God. Look at this, man." Anika says, "Yeah, man, 10 step ahead of him, Patrice. Community is important for real. Glad you did know what to do when applying for your PR. Glad the immigration requirements changed. Good for him. Patrice on a smart bad." That was Amoy,
Mm-hmm.
by the way. Kenny Sharber says, look at God when man a plan, God a wipe. Donate Night says, praise Jesus, you got through with the open work permit. The Taylor's family said, OMG. Amoy says, what a story, man, Patrice. You deserve all the good that's coming to you. Kenny Sharber
Oh,
says,
thank you,
sign,
God.
whoa. The struggle is real. Tears fill my eyes. The Taylor family
Okay.
says, whoa, God is so good. The Taylor family says, like the live, guys, blessings. Kenny Sharber says, but that is what the church is for, to help out when members are in need. Kay's version says you have some good people still in this world. The Taylor family says lol. Amoy says, my God, this story is powerful. Vanessa Shanique says, God is good, nobody can take away what is originally meant for you. Shanique says right there. So the Taylor family said, "My God." Kay's version says, "Go see him. Go see, go see how him look."
Like wet
All right.
rat.
Where am I at? I am at Anika Miller laughing
Okay.
emoji. Kay's version says lol. Dustin says lol. Yes, Lord, right through. Rashida Bailey says right through like night, Drew. That one are nice. Amar says diamond in the rough. You didn't know Caribbean people don't break under pressure. Destin says, I really love your personality, Patrice. God
Oh,
always provide
Destiny.
for his children, keep in God's will. Amar says, go see the old fat face.
True.
Amar
You want
says,
to see
the
his
story
face.
girl, I love it. You
You
know
know, I
what,
want
guys?
to go
As
back. I want to go back to whose comment was this? I want to go back to the immigration requirement, the one that said about wait right there.
yeah, man,
Donique,
go on
right?
through, man, go on through.
Donique. I have to give props to my roommate. And this is another thing I'm going to tell you guys when you move here. We have to learn to live with people. We have to learn to live with people. All of we can be the same. We're very different people. And sometimes we have to just hold some things. My roommate wasn't perfect, neither was I. But we lived amicably. I've never argued with my roommate for the 2 years I'm lived with her. Never. We never argue yet. You see, I feel some type of way. I swallow it. I'm going in my room for like 10 minutes. I'm say, boy, maybe me would do it saying, but you have to understand. Say maybe she grew up different and so she don't do it and so on. So I respect that she's different from me. We shared everything. There are days when she have more money than me and me have more money than she. And she would buy grocery and me wouldn't really have no way for money and she would say, Patricia, you know, sister fish in the fridge, Patricia, you know, sister this. And we lived very well
Mhm.
together. But I had to steward that friendship and we're still friends. Today she lives in Edmonton now. She named Kamanisha Moncrief and she's an immigration consultant too.
Bless up
And
Edmonton, Alberta, every single
yes,
time. I don't know, say, I'm not going to
yes.
make that slide right here, sir.
So in all of this talking to moving to Manitoba, moving all good and dandy, but when you come here, chances are enough to live with people and me I beg on you have to learn how to understand that everybody is different. Some people grow up differently than you were brought up. You may cut the onion a particular way, she may left it out. All you do is go in the little kitchen and you clean up and you say, hey, auntie, we don't want the whole house smell like onion. Come clean the little onion. You just have to find a little way, you know? For you live
Mhm.
good with people and not cause no animosity. Just wanted to get that in. But
I
she was the
absolutely
one,
agree.
but she was the one that kept up with the immigration requirement. We had a whole little raggedy laptop that she had, and every time she put in fair information, she said, "Come, Patricia, come put in yours." And me and her work together closely. Anything that was updated, she would say, "Patricia, you know, say me I read," and she say, "Them only want that, or the picture size need to be that or that." So I have to give that girl, Kamanisha Moncrief, my love her bad.
Yeah, man, bless up. I'm not catch your first name still. I think I said Kamamisha Moncrief.
No, I Kamanisha, her name, her name Kamanisha Moncrief.
Bless up, Kamamisha. Anywhere you are at, by the way. I did. I was looking through your Instagram, and I think I saw you posting her, and I saw you said that
Yes,
the little
yes,
old laptop where you guys
yes,
uploaded the papers on and stuff like that.
yes,
Definitely,
that's her.
definitely, that's a story, you know.
Yes,
So guys, definitely, we have probably, I'd say we can. I think I can get another 20 minutes. Patrice, or your husband has
yeah.
screw it.
No, I'm all right.
Am I
Yeah,
right? Or I give the eye? All right, cool. If I'm
I'm all
here,
right.
I just want to apologize and say, sorry for stealing a wife for 2 hours. Your wife is very, very vibesy and really love having her. And guess what? She gonna come back again, to get used to it. Um,
Oh,
and also, guys, I just shared the link in the chat for anybody else who don't know we do it for the final segment of the lives. If you want to come in and be a part of the conversation, you don't have to come on with a camera. You can come on with your mic alone. You can definitely come and join the live stream. If you have a question that you want to ask Patrice or myself, or just become a part of the conversation live on the stream, you can definitely do that as well. All right, guys, the link is right in the chat right there as well. So Patrice, yeah, we just love listening to your story, and we think your story is so touching and inspiring and motivating and all of that.
Uh,
So definitely just continue sharing it.
it's not without the dips and the highs and the lows. It's not without that. Walking through it, I had my friends that I left back home in Jamaica that, I'm gonna be very honest. You see, when my day here, sometime like before now, in the earlier times, sometime I have dollar. And my friend them from Jamaica send money, sometimes from buy like a grocery and them something. It hard up here when you just a start out, that's the truth. But once you get yourself planted and you have a good credit and you maintain a job, then you can do them something there. So, but I chose stone pan and a friend, them should not come a big foreign. Maintain them because at the end of the day. I remember when I was getting my job here in Winnipeg, my friend, the same one, Karima, was working in Turks and Caicos, and she packed a box of clothes from Turks and Caicos to send to me in a Canada so I can go to work because I had no money. My friend Candice, who pray for me morning, noon, and night, hold me hand up on the phone with me through depression. They on the do throw on the friend them. I beg on the do.
Yeah, when you're not throwing a stone behind, don't, what is it,
Mm-mm,
don't burn the bridge or don't throw a stone. I don't
mm-mm,
remember, one of them quote there. But
mm-mm.
just read some of these comments. The Taylor family says that's so true. Chosen and Anointed says good evening, guys. Donny Knight says that's awesome. Edmonton, bap. Chosen and Anointed says Manitoba is nice. Just move here for school. So you know what? Definitely Chosen and Anointed. You want to definitely run over to Patrice's Instagram and create a network
Yeah,
because why? Community is important.
yeah,
And you know what?
yeah.
Patrice, I
Chosen
am
anointing.
international student.
Come over to my Instagram and send me a DM.
Yeah, Patrice, I am international student and you know if you can cook neither. So go
That's
definitely go
right.
and go check it out.
That's right.
Anika says, thanks for this sound advice, Patrice. Amor says, which city chosen? Michael Bailey says, big man thing, Patrice, would you leave Canada a morning and come home back?
Um, not to Jamaica. I would no, not no. One Jamaica, the crime thing kind of scare me. Another truth, me kind of afraid of it. And not right now. God has really positioned me to realize my dream and to create generational wealth that I did not have from my family coming
Yeah.
up. And so it would be foolish for me to leave at this point. In the future, I will. I can't retire here. It's just way too cold for me. But I believe that my purpose here is to build wealth, build relationships, and then God will probably place me probably in Florida. That's where I want to retire.
Blessings for that. I think Florida is also awesome and plus a 45 minutes flight to Jamaica.
That's right.
Anyways, chosen and anointed says, I am cold already.
It is cold.
Donate Night says, God bless her. The Taylor family says, lol.
Thank you
Amoy
so much.
says, yep, find your people early. Network. Of course, guys, I shared the link in case you guys want to forward on to the conversation. Just click on the link as well. In the link right there, it takes you directly into the chat. You don't have to come on with your camera. You can come on with just your mic. Please make sure say you have thumbs up the live, by the way, guys, if you haven't done so already. Subscribe if you're new, share the live so other persons can see the live, and check out our GoFundMe in the link description right down below. That's enough marketing right there. Back to the chat. Chosen and Anointed says, thanks, Amoy. God be praised. Michael Bailey says, yes, she sound real, bro. Amoy says, boy, I love Patrice vibes, my kind of people. The Taylor family says, emoji. Um, Kay's version says, big up friends, big up
That's
your
right.
friends, big up your friends every time. Chew them, burn the bridge. Um,
Mm,
Not Sandem Drill Talk says, I chosen and anointed. Congrats. Simone Miko
yes,
says,
my God.
Patrice is a real one.
Oh,
Agent says, true word says. Amoy says, chosen, beg you come and tell your story. Chosen and anointed says, like with everywhere, it's challenging, but it's possible with Christ. Amoy says,
amen.
friendship is very important. The Taylor family says, my sister, God bless you and your family. Chosen and anointed says, I will help out, but not share live. I am willing to help out.
Too
Not
shy.
so sure. Yeah, too shy to come on live. Oh, I see. I see. That's fine. You know what? I was shy too. That's all good. Nah, I was really shy. Again, guys, you can definitely be a part of the conversation by just clicking on the link. I keep sharing it. definitely forward into the conversation. I could just have a little reason for the remaining 20 minutes or so, just to
Mhm.
kind of, if just get other person's perspective as well. If you're in Canada, you are welcome to come on to the live. By the way, Miss Knight, you did promise that you're coming on this week. I remember, by the way. And also, Amari, you come on every week, so definitely come on again. And Rashido, you don't know, so we like your energy and we love to hear your passion and we love to hear your vibe. So go and click on the link and don't make me say it again. I'll come on the live. Blessings to everybody who is tuning into the Andersons channel, by the way. I hope you guys really find our channel informative, entertaining, and real, because that's what we're here to do: share real life experiences so that other persons can benefit, so that your transition can be a little bit easier than my transition and a little bit easier than Patrice's transition. All
Well
right.
done. Mhm.
Donate Night says, me forget. Me no business if I forget. You gotta come on, same way. Me tell her that. Me tell her that right now. Simon McKean Brown says, Pat, thank you for sharing your unfiltered experiences. Melissa Wright Thomas
Good
says,
luck, Mr.
Patrice,
Moore.
would you recommend taking your kids when you are just coming to Canada to study?
Hear what? I only have one little baby boy, my little cry for die for son. I cannot imagine leaving him with people I don't know how them are gonna treat him, how them are gonna grow him, if them are gonna teach him how to read and write, if them are gonna molest him. My son goes everywhere with me. It's as what the man said earlier, it's unique to your circumstances. If you have a faithful mother and a faithful father who you know are go care the kid and just wait when you forget on your feet, then I would recommend it. But if you don't have that solid foundation or support, carry the picnic.
Yeah, man, 1000%. My second that 1000%. No itching, no two ways about that. And guys, we have one of our more vibrant members here. As I can see, she's on the people in government work. Yeah, man, 1000%. My second that 1000%. Rashida, stop listening to the live in the background because you're echo. So mute the live in the background and listen to the mic. As I can see, she's okay. We're good to go now. What go on?
Hi, Patrice.
Hi, Rashida.
It's so good to have you. Boy, the information just overwhelming to an extent. But I'm happy that you're here to basically guide us and big up them as always. Big up nuts. Them ever find the people with some information where it just have your way. But I'm glad that I'm a part of this community and all of that, and I'm just glad that information just a flow, and at least I know what to look for,
Mm-hmm.
how to deal with things as they come up and all of that. So big up to of course.
Yes.
So because you there work, Mr. Bailey the Oma, that's why I blow up the chat. So I never see smoke without fire. That's the first thing. So Patrice Rashida is has applied to come to Canada as an international student. She's currently waiting
Yay.
on a response from IRCC. Of course, we also send blessings in Rashida's direction that she get her approval very soon, because there's no two way
Yes.
about it. It's just when them send the approval, it's not if them are gonna send the approval, right? So she's
Then.
coming to Canada as an international student. Of course, she has decided to go to London, Ontario. After much trying to convince her to come to Alberta, she has decided to go to London, Ontario, which is totally fine, by the way. I think once you get a foot in, that's all everybody needs.
Yeah.
Would you
Yeah.
do you have any advice that you would give to her as somebody who's coming to Canada for the first time?
Well, you know what? It's going to be a little bit hard for you, but just know that you will have to probably leave a lot of how you live in Jamaica behind, because it's a new culture, it's a new way. Keeping the fundamentals in a Rashido, keeping the principles where you grew up on, respect. You're going to go in a building place and you're going to say, morning. And you're going to think that people are going to answer you and them not going to answer you. But you just keep on doing it the same way because you stay true to who you are. However, the things like, if you go out at night time and them something, sometimes Canada so cold they can't go nowhere. So if at that,
I don't have
you
a
have to
problem
kind
with
of,
that. I'm an indoor person. My hobby
right.
is sleeping.
Right. So you have to be okay in that regard. They say the schooling is very different from Jamaica. I didn't go to school here, but I have very close friends that went here. And they say it's very, very different. How they teach is very different. And just have an open mind that you're going to have people in a class in a room that from like different things. Like now they share pronouns. So you're gonna see a man on your screen in a class and but him identify as she. You can't make up a face or she that you can go on like say you can do group work with him.
Or she.
Or she, sorry. You see? So it's very different here. You have family here in London?
Yes, I have cousins.
Oh, you have cousins. Are you gonna stay with them?
Not in the same house, but in the same area.
Okay, so you're renting?
Yes.
Okay, that's very good. You're coming with children?
Husband and 2 sons.
Okay, okay. And your husband coming with you? As in,
Now leave
not as
him.
a student.
No, no. Open work permit.
Okay, I think it should be okay. How old are your children?
10 and 3.
Okay, so you have daycare for them?
Well, who I'm going amongst, that person basically will be sorting out, just doing the, what would I say now? Putting on certain foundation for us. What I did do, I went ahead because I'm a person who loves to. Some persons will say jump the gun, but I don't consider it as jumping the gun. I consider it as trying to get things in place so that the if and the but and if me didn't know and yeah. So what I did, I had applied to the schools within that community and email them. I email about 2 to 3 of them in regards to my kids and all of that. So they gave me a letter, an acceptance letter for my kid, for the bigger one that is, to say that yes, they will accept him when he comes and blah blah blah. And she said that I can put that with their stuff for IRCC. And she informed me. I got name, contacts, everything. So they informed me that as soon as I'm landed, all I need to do is just send them my information, my student, whatever information and whatever, with their names, birth paper, blah, blah, blah. And then that's it. They can go to
Okay,
school basically the next,
okay,
whenever
and that
school.
is that is school, right? Not daycare.
No, yeah, that is school, not daycare. For the 3-year-old, because of the time that I'm going up, right, which would be in February, he would be 4, the June. So they have a program, pre-K. So they're saying that, okay, then if he's going to be 4 the year that he started, because I know some kids, their age fall based on when school open and all of that, they might fall away from it or before it. So they informed me that if the child age is within that present year, the child will be 4, they'll be okay to go to school basically. Because they say school,
School or
kindergarten starts at 4.
oh,
Yeah.
okay,
So they
okay.
gave me a letter and all of that to support my thing.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
But also remember that when kindergarten ends and you'll be in school, um, I don't know if your husband might get a work very soon, a job very soon. You have to probably have daycare for them
Okay. That's after school.
after school because the kindergarten is over all day.
Okay. Okay.
And you have to find out how much that is. My friend, one of my roommates that I came here with, one of the 3 girls, she moved to London, Ontario when she moved from Winnipeg. And daycare was
Yeah.
expensive.
Yes, I
Yeah,
heard
daycare
about
there
it.
for real.
And it's
Welcome.
more
Is that
expensive in
DR?
Ontario than Manitoba.
Yeah, so I heard. Yeah, I was somebody in our private group the other day, somebody put up
Hey,
a
thanks, man.
costing list with the different I think it's province. And I tell you, I don't know why Ontario gone so.
Yeah, it's very because for her 2 kids,
Sorry,
her
sorry. I
two
think
kids
I think
for the
there's
month.
something going on with
Her 2 kids for the month, it's 3,100 for daycare for her 2 children. So she had to stop work because it wouldn't make sense she work because she'd have to take all her salary and more to pay for the daycare. But I see
Okay,
Brent
so
Richardson on.
guys, we have.
I hope
I
maybe
see
Hold on,
Brent
hold on,
26.
Rashida.
Richardson
Stick up
online.
in, stick up in, stick up in, Rashida.
Yes, I
Hold on,
am.
hold on, 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 hold on. Hold on there. Hold on there. We're gonna go back to it, but let me just
Yo, yeah,
welcome
come go ahead,
two
him.
other
So yeah,
persons. Make hold on two other make a bless up two other persons from the stream. Donique Knight, welcome, and BR. Where
Thank
BR
you.
stand for again?
It's delayed. Brent Richardson.
Brent Richardson.
Brent Richardson.
Welcome to the stream, bro. Blessings, everybody.
Yo, he's
He's delayed.
respect.
I'm not sure what I'm going if you're an echo or if you're a delay, bro, but it kind of throw me off a little bit. But yeah, as you were saying, Rashida, we're talking about daycare, and we're saying daycare in Ontario is very expensive. And definitely, I think that's definitely something that you have to consider, as well as Patrice rightfully said, because you know what, a lot of persons don't think about like the other aspect of moving to a new place, right? You want to make sure it's about you, Sir Bailey, and the kids are comfortable. So the best way to do that is to just prepare yourself for that as well. So Might we hear what Brent have to say? Now, Brent, did you have a question or something that you wanted to throw to us or anything like that?
To be
Okay.
honest, no, I just kind of wanted to big up Patrice. Every time I hear a story, it kind of, it makes me feel really good knowing that everything kind of, comes full circle. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to come on and give a big up to Pat and say, yo, I see your journey. We've been friends for a long time. I know what you've been through. I know what you're going through. And I swear to God, it's been a blessing to see your journey just, come full circle with the restaurant and everything. And, yo, it's a blessing, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, man. Thanks for that, man. I'm a second 1,000%. Thank you so much for forwarding on and just sending some blessings in Patrice's direction as well. Me
Yeah,
definitely
so
second that.
before you go, Brent was also when I came here. Brent and I did our masters together back home in Jamaica, and when I moved here, he was like, "Oh, how can I get to Canada?" I'm interested, and I walked him through the process, and they showed him how it's done. And Brent came as a student, him and his beautiful wife Nicolette, and they went through the process. They experienced Manitoba like many of us did, high days, low days, and they opted not to stay. Mother rang them because it just never did work for them, and they went to British Columbia, and they are doing so good there. So that's my boy.
So, Brent, do you want to share any part of your journey with us, bro? Like from Jamaica to Manitoba to BC?
I don't know about
What
all
was
of
that
that,
like,
but, we're doing the best we can. Honestly, the journey's been reasonable. As I said, not too much in my journey. It's just as anybody else who immigrates. The process is never complete. It's always a work in progress, and things will break you. I have been broken by the entire process. And it's just always a work in progress, And it's just good to have people around you supporting you, and we'll see what the future has to hold, right? No big story here, unfortunately.
Yeah, man. Blessings, always. Donique, what's up? Do you want to share or do you want to come in? What's your journey like? Do you want to contribute anything in a question, in a comment, anything like that?
Sure. First of all, Patrice, trust me, your story interesting. But for me, first of all, when I just came here, it was me alone because my husband didn't get through to come. So I did school in New Brunswick, in Moncton, and then I came to Edmonton because my brother was here. And then I came October and he came the April. My husband came the April. But anyway, I would encourage everybody, if you can, to come to Canada. I did a surgery, well, 2 surgeries basically, in the last, 6 weeks or 4 weeks. And I'm on maternity leave, 1. My husband is not at work because he has to take care of the baby because I can't leave the baby. And he's on EI. Now, if we were in Jamaica, first of all, I would be back at work. He wouldn't be on any EI. I would have to find somebody to take care of the baby. The baby's over 10 pounds and I can't lift him for 4 weeks. So that alone, this experience alone wouldn't change my mind. I would not go back to Jamaica. Not right now. But
And if anybody wants to know, Donique is in Alberta, beautiful province of Alberta, of course.
Edmonton.
You're in Edmonton,
Yes.
right, Donique?
Yes.
Yeah, Donique is in Edmonton. We definitely need to link up as well. We'll talk about that off here. But that don't look like Brent in a Brent firm right there, so that look like somebody
That's
else.
Nicholas. That's Mrs. Brent.
Oh, this is Mrs. Brent. Hi, Mrs. Brent.
Hi. Yes. Hi, everybody. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we are.
Loud and clear.
Just keep talking.
Okay, cool. I just
Yeah,
really wanted to big up Patrice. She has been really just such a blessing in our lives. Hearing her story is just always, I don't know, it's emotional, but it's also motivating. And you have to go to Manitoba, even if it's just to check out the restaurants, because I was there for a week this year and I ate at the restaurant for every
day.
meal. So it's very necessary. It's so good. Everything that Patrice is just so authentic. Everything she does is just blessed. So very happy to know her. Very happy to be here to kind of talk about this experience, and she has definitely helped us through this journey.
Where in BC are you guys living now? Where in BC are you guys living now, Nicolette?
We are in Vancouver, so in the GVA.
Oh, okay, beautiful Vancouver. Yeah, thanks for everybody who decided to come on, including Rashida, who Atifi government work time. You don't know, so we appreciate it. We just want to just bless up Patrice. Thank you so much, Patrice, for spending 2 hours out of her Sunday with the Andersons family here. We really appreciate your transparency. We value your story so much. We feel like you have such a powerful story. And
thank you.
yeah, we just thank you so much for sharing it, and we hope that like many persons will be inspired and motivated from it. And also, guys, definitely check out what's the name of your business, Patrice?
It's called Gladys Caribbean Kitchen. It's named from my grandmother. So it's Gladys Caribbean Kitchen. You can find me on Instagram, and I also have the website www.gladyscaribbeankitchen.com.
Okay, we're definitely working on getting the link in the link description in the chat right here, guys. Just definitely go over to our Instagram channel and follow her. Interact with her. If you're in Winnipeg, definitely reach out to her. You may never know how it might benefit you in the future. Definitely explore the community. And if you're ever in the Edmonton area as well, reach out to Benny, because I know she have her own story too and stuff she can tell all about coming to Edmonton as an international student and all of them stuff. Of course, she have our channel. It's called The Night Them. Definitely go and subscribe to her channel. There's not much, as she said last week, in terms of content. I haven't posted in a while, but run over to our channel, see me, and show some love, so that will probably motivate her to get back busy. You understand? Of course, we have to invest in Rashida's direction as she waits on her IRCC journey. We know says the anxiety sometimes is unbearable. But Rashida, you know what? It's not if our but you get approved, you're already approved. Them just each send the approval. And definitely, we have taken almost 2 hours out of Patrice's Sunday evening. So I'm just gonna give Patrice an opportunity to say a few last words, and then she can bounce when she's ready. All right.
All right. So, um, moving to Canada is a big decision, but it's a decision that will change your life. I have no doubt. I struggled with fibroids since I was a teenager, and I moved here, and I've done all my surgeries here that could have afforded me to have a son. And I'm truly grateful for this country that, for allowing me to become a mom. That's one aspect of it. I've met beautiful people here. My life's trajectory has changed since I moved here. I'm wiser. I'm stronger in my faith. I am I'm so grateful that I made that decision that day. So if you're on the fence about making the decision, talk to God. Talk to God like how me and I talk on the chat. And say, God, you know, some feel like say Jamaica hard and feel like some want to go somewhere else. You think you know the place to me, and you'll be surprised how he answers you and presents you with opportunities. So if you guys have any questions, can always DM me. Me can't answer all the time because I own the restaurant, but I'm cooking there too. So sometimes I'm busy. But I will get to you. I will get to you eventually in the evenings when I'm winding down. So, you can send me a message, ask me a question, and I'll be happy to help you. I know a gentleman here by the name of George Coleman. He's an international recruiter for Red River College. So if you guys are really interested in coming to school here in Manitoba, I can send you guys Uncle George's number, and he will help you to walk you through the process for applying and tell you all that you need to submit to the consulate in Jamaica, the embassy in Jamaica. So shoot me a DM, and if you're ready to start the journey, let's do this.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Patrice. We actually have a Telegram group. I'm gonna be reaching out to you pretty soon. We have a Telegram group. Currently, have 160 members in that group. All persons who are thinking of coming to Canada. So that's actually yeah, Rashida is the captain of that group. That's why she looks so excited over there. So so definitely yeah, we have a lot of captains as well. Am I? Nobody can eat off my head. Am I? Okay, let me just say that. Okay, moving on. That's actually very good that you have decided to just give us that contact. I'll definitely reach out to you, and you know what? I'll definitely get you to be a part of the Telegram group. You don't have to be talking like every day because we know you're very
Me
busy.
qualify.
But
Me can't manage the next group right now. Me have some group more jump out of quick, but that true me can't take shame. Sir.
but I'll definitely get the contact information, and then we can build a community from there. All right. So
Okay, no
again,
problem.
thank you so much for spending your Sunday with us. We really appreciate it, guys. If you haven't thumbs up the live as yet, please go and do so now. If you're new, please subscribe to our channel, and please, guys, support our dream of becoming a registered immigration consultant by clicking on the GoFundMe, which is in the link description right underneath this live. And please, guys, just support the dream. You understand? That is the goal. The goal is for us to be able to can give you guys not only information from our own experiences, but actual information what IRCC wants in terms of all of the processes. So support that dream, guys. If you guys have any questions, this is the time to throw it out because Patrice, I look back at her every minute. We know it's a Ozzy again the side eye. So
No,
that's why I'm
no,
gonna try to
no,
wrap
no, okay. I'm a little dinner me I try go start.
up. So I'm trying to just wrap up as quick as possible. All right. Let's just read out this chat before we go. Hope I don't miss anybody. I really apologize if I do. I'm just trying to keep it under 2 hours. We do have a lot here. Amari says, like up the live. Donate Night says, we are coming back soon. Adrian says, everything God do is well done. Blessings, guys. Amari says, boy, I will take a trip to visit Patrice after this.
You should.
Absolutely, definitely. We will be coming to Winnipeg just to come to your restaurant, by the way.
Oh, I'm so
This is
honored.
to say, it's winter is coming, so it's probably summer months. You
Yeah, that's
understand,
fine.
Patrice? You know the
That's
thing, go.
fine. That's fine. That's
Um,
fine.
Adrian says, at Amoy, don't leave me, lol. Amoy says, yes, Adrian, linkage. Amoy says, no problem, man. Amoy says, congratulations on the baby, Donique. Charlene Campbell says, what's her YouTube? She doesn't. Do you have a YouTube channel, Patrice?
No, mama, me not have the time. Listen, As I told you when you guys asked me, I don't know how this thing goes. I never did on YouTube yet, but I'm active on Instagram. If you want to hear
But there
about
you
God
go.
and
Well,
life and then something there, you can follow me on Instagram. But normal girl, me just look like regular, regular.
all right, cool. We definitely gonna share the link for that. Adrian says, "What's your IG? What's your IG?" Patrice, K's version says, "Big up Patrice for that." Patrice, what's your IG again?
It's Patrice underscore Gilman. PATRICE_GILMAN.
Well, I can say that again, please, for the people in the back. Rashida just pick up our pen.
It's Patrice underscore Gilman. PATRICE_GILMAN.
Perfect. Caves version says, "Big up Patrice for that. Blessings to you and your family business." Shayna K Garden says, "Blessings Patrice." Anna K Miller says, "God continue blessing Patrice."
Oh, thank you,
Charlene
guys.
Campbell says, "If I come on a visitor visa, can I work in Canada?" Unfortunately, no. We don't know much about that. You need a SIN number in order to work in Canada. Legally,
Yeah,
we don't know anything about illegal work in Canada, unfortunately.
that's right. That's right.
Um, where am I at? Just me says, "What's the Telegram?" We'll throw it in the link description, the video description in just a few minutes here. Amai says the live, wow, thank you, Dems and Nuts. Of course, it's our pleasure. Tajero says, Charlie, no, you have to get a work permit. Thank you for that as well, Tajay. K's version says, my love travels so Winnipeg, some Winnipeg to Patrice is my next stop. She motivates me. Okay, so we officially made it to the 2 hour mark, which is officially the longest live we have ever done on our
Really?
channel. Really? So that's all because of Patrice. Thank
Oh,
you so
God.
much. But unfortunately, guys, as they say, all good things must come to an end. So this is where it comes to an end. But what I want to say before I leave is, as per usual, we're going into a new week. I ask that everybody just be safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Take care of your mental health. That's very important.
Amen.
Remember, your health is your wealth. Also, be positive and put your best foot forward at all times. I know that whatever you decide to accomplish this week, it will be yours, and you can definitely do it because the law of attraction is real. If you want it good, bad enough, and you work hard enough, it will be yours. Whatever cause you believe in, if it's Jesus, if it's Buddha, if it's Sikh, if it's Muhammad, if it's the universe, whatever, put your faith in it and believe that whatever you want will be yours. All right, guys. Until the next video, I know the thing of big up on yourself, bless up on yourself. Bye. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Have a good night, Patrice.
Bye.
Rashida, enjoy the rest of your shift and call me until I don't work.